The average person spends about 2 to 4 hours a day on a smartphone or a tablet computer. New study shows that forward flexion of the head when you're kind of hunching and texting and stuff, terrible for our neck and spine.
Terrible.
Health specialist Leah Sarich now with what this means for you and your teenagers.
And the teenagers. Yes, absolutely. So we do spend so much time on our phones and our tablets all day long, exactly in that position that you demonstrated. Right? You sort of hunch over and your head is tilted forward. So I spoke with a physiotherapist about what a new study found, specifically about that forward flexion.
There was a doctor who looked at how much weight goes through your neck when it's in different positions. So when we're upright, they calculated it at about 10 to 12 pounds. But once we start to flex our neck, the weight of our head increases the amount of weight that goes through our spine. So once we get to 60 degrees of positioning, you're at about 60 pounds of weight on your head. So that's more than my 5-year-old sitting on my head in that flex position.
Wow.
Wow, hey, 60 pounds on your head. So a couple of toddlers basically hanging out on your head, My 7-year-old, on my head. And of course, who's on their phone even more than this likely? The teenagers, right?
Yeah, my daughter.
Absolutely. So Julia Brooks deals with a lot of teens over at the Children's Hospital, and she says, you know, they're already susceptible to this forward flexion because they're studying at their desks, they're leaning over their work, and the difference is that in the past, teens would get up and walk around and go talk to their friends. But they don't do that anymore. They just text their friends. So they're in this position for even longer.
So that stress, that extra weight, what does that do for our spine?
Well, you can imagine, right? So we still have to keep our head on our heads, right? We still have to keep our head on. So what's happening is we're getting a lot of extra strain and stress that's going right through the spine, through the muscles of the neck, into the shoulders, and into the neck. So this is leading to all kinds of extra pain, and particularly in teenagers as well, a lot of headaches. So they're getting headaches more than they ever have, and she's treating this a lot because of that forward flexion of the head. So the good news is, though, there are a couple of relatively simple fixes, and it all starts with taking a break from that phone.
Working on correct posture, tucking the chin back, and doing that frequently, not just once a day, but every 15 minutes. Stop what you're doing, put your device down, tuck your chin in, get that good posture, and even hold it for 20 to 30 seconds, just so that those muscles get a little bit of a break. The other thing that's been recommended, particularly by this surgeon who did the study, was to change the position of the device. So, in fact, holding it further up in front of the face rather than down at the waistline, or, for example, when you're sitting, trying to kind of relax on the couch and hold it up a little bit more, things like that, so that we're not constantly in that flexed position.
So it's all about getting out of that position. So you can see Julia here demonstrating to me pushing that chin back over your shoulders. You may end up with a little double chin there, but that's what she's saying. Get it back over the shoulders, assuming that correct posture, and really being aware of taking a break from that position, right? It's not a lot. She's saying every 15 minutes, take a break for 20 to 30 seconds. So that's not too bad. And every once in a while, of course, do what we're doing there, which is taking that phone and holding it up in front of your face.
Instead of like this.
Instead of down here.
You're doing it like this, right? Oh, okay.
Exactly. So lots of good information there, and of course it's all on my blog.
Walking like this could be a big problem.
That could be a problem,
so
but that might be the break time.
Yeah,
that might be a good time to take a break.
All right, good stuff. BreakfastTelevision.ca. That is where you can find Leah's blog. You know what? So many people. You're right. 2 to 4 hours a day.
Right.
We are all
on
over
that
these
all
devices.
the time, and particularly those teenagers, right? Because, like she says, they're always already in this position writing anyway, and instead of getting up and walking around and taking a break, they're in this position, and they're texting their friends that are 2 tables down. Right?
Exactly.
So we need to get them away from that and tell them that it's really important to do that, and then that'll reduce those headaches and all that strain in the shoulders.
Good advice. All right. You're going to check in with Dave Will now. He has an advice for what's happening on our roads this morning. Hey, Dave.